We have 4 Sweet Sue and her Society Syncopators cast members here with us today. A round of applause.
Tony and Jack were not happy campers with waiting for Marilyn because, you know, everybody had their schedules and they'd be there on time, and they definitely weren't. So some of the time I played flute solos, duets with Tony. I'd bring my flute in and play with him. But one of the really funny things that I always remember, and I actually do it in my act because people really laugh, is that when Billy Wilder, she was saying, went up to Marilyn and he said, "Darling, what I want you to do is," and she was doing her relaxing that her coach, and he'd tell her exactly, "Not now, I'm relaxing." And he's telling her the scene. That was always the way it was with when we were on the set. And Paula Strasberg was constantly running around with Marilyn. She didn't make a move without her. Is that right?
As a matter of fact, when there was a take and it was absolutely perfect, Paula would go.
You're right.
And if it was not good, she'd go like this to Marilyn. And Marilyn was absolutely petrified, just the way Tracy would go. She'd go like this. What this was, we don't know. I think it was a nervous condition. Yeah.
No, that's Lee Strasberg. That's the Actors Studio. I mean, that's what they did in those days. I don't know what they do now. I mean, I don't want to say what they do now. It's worse than that.
Okay, Marion. My dad worked with Jack Lemmon quite a few times, and it was so much fun to work with. Years later, is the Oscars, and Jack Lemmon ran up to my dad and said, "Billy boy, where have you been?" And this was 10 years later. My dad's going, "I'm just a scenic artist." He remembered me. So is that true that Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon were so much fun to work with, regardless of the fact is that the filming took longer than usual?
Great, especially Jack, of course. I mean, Jack, he hung out with us. I mean, he hung out with the girls. And Tony at the time was married and, you know, behaving himself. But Jack was single, and Laurie's got something to tell.
Okay.
I only have to say, as far as what you just said, wrong statement, but I have to say, as far as Jack, he took us. Marion wasn't there, but
I was in love.
That's right.
She was in love.
He went back to Hollywood.
After the filming.
I don't know, Tracy, did you go with us to Tijuana?
Too young.
Jack took the girls to Mexico.
Jack took.
Remember, because they were in San Diego.
Joe, did you go with us to Tijuana?
I would finish my knitting, finish whatever we filmed, and go in my little car and drive to Malibu. And as I went out this door, I saw other girls going in that door. You know, I think you had a cocktail party every night.
No, they rented a room after we were dismissed. They said, "Well, the bus is going back to Hollywood. You want to get on the bus?" There it is. And Laurie and I think Grace and I don't know who else, they said, "Oh, no, we want to stay." So they took a room across from the Coronado Hotel where we were filming and staying, and they took a motel room. And then Jack, I guess, said, "All right, you want to go to Tijuana?" And I was in love then, so I said, "No, I can't go. I have to go back to Hollywood." So I missed out.
He took a bunch of us. I don't know who it was.
Didn't you?
So what did you do in Mexico, Laurie?
The young one didn't go. So he took us to a Valley San Diego bar. I don't know even where. And from there, he took us to Tijuana to watch the girls dance and put coins somewhere. I can't tell you where, but
Okay.
we were hysterical, and Jack was the most sweetheart. We were drinking. I don't know what we were drinking, but
Tequila.
That's because you don't remember, Laurie.
tequila, the dearest, sweetest, darling man. He took 4 of us there. We had the best time with him, and he played the piano, and he was playing the bongos, and it was just wonderful. We got back to the hotel, and everything was fine. I went back to my roommate. I don't know where she was, whether she was sleeping, I don't know. But from what I understand, we banged on the door on Jack's room, and we banged on his bed. I think, was that the day?
I don't know.
Oh, see? But everything was legit. I mean, he was just a sweetheart.
Marion's saying she's
Now,
heard
getting
stories
back
she's
to
never heard
Tony,
before.
Tony was very
I'm
busy
hearing
with
stories.
his
I was
actresses.
there and I never saw or heard of them.
See?
Mark,
I swear to God. I must
Mark
have been
down there.
asleep.
Hey, Mark, Vera. You said you had a interesting story about Tony Curtis. 'Cause how long did you work on the book with Tony Curtis, the making of Some Like It Hot?
Yeah, I'd like to tell you all about Tony Curtis, just a little story to kind of give you a side of him that maybe you haven't heard before. I worked with him in March, April, May, June on this book in 2009. And he was in, Henderson, Nevada, and I was here. He called me out of the blue, I guess it was in August, and I hadn't, I'd been working the thing and gone off to the publisher, and he called and said, Mark. I said, hi, Tony. Hi. And I said, uh-oh. What, did he look at the manuscript again and not like it? And he said, Mark, I had cataract surgery, and I looked at the manuscript again. I said, yeah? Oh, Mark, it's so good. You made me sound so nice. I want to thank you. I never got to thank you, so thank you so much. How's everything? How are your cats? How's Jonathan, the man that works for you? Everybody's fine. Okay, Mark, that's all. I'll talk to you later. See you in Coronado next month. Bye. Now, that to me, that's the old Hollywood. He didn't have to do that. To call me and thank me, I mean, that was my job, but that was, to me, very gracious, kind, and to me, that's the old Hollywood. So God bless him.
Mark, keep the microphone for a second. What's your favorite antidote from Some Like It Hot that Tony Curtis told you that's in your book?
My favorite, about hearing the car horns on Santa Monica Boulevard when he's in the middle of an argument with Arthur Miller about Marilyn Monroe being pregnant. That he could remember little things like that, 50 years later. That's pretty impressive.
That is me. Okay, before we conclude, because we do want to see the movie, right, guys? Woo! One of my favorite movies of all time. The birth scene, B-E-R-T-H, on the train. How long did that take? That was an amazing, amazing, amazing scene. Just priceless.
Days and days.
Days and days.
Weeks, was it?
Well, the train burst
Yeah.
scene? Oh, God, that took at least
Day
5
after
days.
day.
At least.
Okay.
We had to get up there, we were all squashed.
And then when the girls, you'll see it, when we all fall out, that's not us.
No.
That's stunt men, not women. That was stunt guys, yeah. That was not us.
I think there was one actually stunt woman I noticed in credits, so maybe
there was one stunt.
But they had nice legs.
But you asked us, which we didn't answer, of course, because Lori was telling the story of her life. You asked us how we got
How you got the
hired,
part, right?
right? And wait till you hear hers.
Okay, we only have a few more minutes.
I was dancing at a nightclub in Santa Monica, Ben Blues nightclub. I was a dancer, a soloist, and Marty Melnick, who wrote some of the songs that we sang and were played in the movie, asked if I wanted to be in a movie, and I said yes, of course. And he wanted girls in the, but I didn't play an instrument, not the one they gave me, so that's how I got the job.
Well, Matty Melnick also. I worked with him in Lake Tahoe because I'd come to LA and I couldn't get a job back to where I was dancing at the Desert Inn in Las Vegas. And so I got a job in Lake Tahoe just for 6 weeks, and that's how I met Matty. He was the orchestra conductor. And it was great. I had 6 great weeks there. Then I came to LA, and then things happened, and I became an actress. And 2 years later, I got this call from Matty saying, where are you? I called your, in those days we had services. I said, I'm in Indiana visiting my family. And he says, well, I'm doing a movie called Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis. And I thought, well, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'll do it. I had no idea what I was getting into. What a great, great, great thing happened to me. And thanks to Matty Melnick, that's how I got it. And Lori's got a different story now.
Okay, Lori, make it quick, Lori.
Hers is pretty exciting. My agent sent me to see Sam Armstrong. He sent me to see Billy Wilder, and Billy Wilder, I went over to see him and I.J. Diamond, the writer, And he said to me, are you a musician? And I said, no, I'm an actress. And he said, what do you do? And my first husband, God rest his soul, taught me how to finger the trumpet. And he said, what do you do, darling? You're a very pretty girl. I said, thank you very much. And I told him, that's what I do. And they looked at me both. I didn't read a script, nothing.
You didn't have a script? I didn't either.
Is this good?
I mean,
Okay, Tracy, I don't want to
actresses.
rush you guys. We're getting the rush off here.
Basically, they were, pardon me, did the lights go
Yes,
somewhere?
and they're going to get the
Time.
hook next.
So they were looking for musicians, and Billy said, "Thank you very much." And I went away, and I called my agent, and I said, "Sam, they're never going to use me. They want a musician." And anyway, a week later, my agent called me, and he said, they want to see me again. I went back there, and he said, I really like you, you're very cute, blah, blah, blah. And what happened, they called me, and they said, we're going to put you in the movie. And I was like thrilled, absolutely
Yay.
delighted.
Thanks,
And I
Laurie.
got the
Okay,
part,
Tracy.
And I faked the trumpet. Thank you.
Tracy,
Thank
you
you
have-
very, very much. Love you very,
Okay, Tracy, you have one sentence. You have half a second.
Okay. I also, through Matty Melnick, he'd heard I was appearing in school.
The young one.
Played the harp, and he asked me if I would be interested in doing it. And I was just, I just was a musician. I had no idea. And I said, oh, I would love to. I was very excited about it. And then afterwards, he wanted me to head an all-girl orchestra from Some Like It Hot in Vegas. And I turned him down, one of the many mistakes I've made in my life.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. And thanks for the Sweet Sue and her society syncopators, Joan, Marion, Laurie,